Yeah, that's a sound I can get behind. You know what's interesting? I can show you the joys of my studio. We have that capability because we're on this phone now. Wait a minute. Bah. You want to see how devastating this damned heater you're hearing is that just started? Look at my windows. Look at my windows. Look at those windows. It's the heater is so hot that it is literally steaming my windows. Welcome to the show before the show, where I check to make sure everything is working in a pre-war building, like where we're at now. Shit goes down. All right, let me make sure that this is all peachy. Jeez Louise, how are you guys? It's just this heater, fortunately. If you have an old building where there's heaters built into the walls, like in a rickety and shit, and the pipes jitter, like this is the only room where it happens. I'm surprised I got as much done as I have done in this space as a working studio. I'm very impressed at how much I was able to get done in this space. But yeah, isn't that crazy? Literally, I had like a towel down earlier, and I'm like, I am tired of this. This is a rental unit. Like, I've definitely complained about this in the past, and they literally, I don't know if you could tell when I was pointing the camera down there, but that wall just got patched up too. It's literally been, I could touch the outside, is what I'm saying. Like, there was a hole in the wall, and then the front facade, the bricks, like, were just there. They were just exposed bricks, but not like interior, like, sexy looking bricks. Like, nasty, covered in cement, disgusting looking bricks were right there. They've been fixing the facade because there have been a bunch of like leaks in this building too. This building's great. That's what I'm saying. This building's great. Oh, the joys of using this iPhone. I gotta say, I'm loving it. Here, see if that's perfect. I should probably go to Streamlabs. Oh, brilliant. But hey, how are you guys doing? I am enjoying a Brooklyn Bel Air, which is their sour ale. I feel like I've had this drink on the show before. I must have. It's only now hit me how sweet this sour ale is. I think because we've like picked up a new diet at the house. I say new diet. We're eating more salads and stuff, and not as much junk food. Although we still buy junk food. When I buy a beer like this, it tastes sweet. Normally it was just tart, like sour. Could have always been a sweet beer too. But yeah, Yawgmoth or Crick? Who's your daddy? Poll's running now. It's really important to me to know between Yawgmoth and Crick. Who's your daddy? And what of them is actually a daddy? Right? Within the lore of the game. I honestly don't know their story. I don't know Crick's story. I just know that people really enjoy Crick because he's really easy to play. How about a commander who only costs generic and a little bit of life? I've actually never attempted to make Crick, but I know there's a lot of turbo Cricks out there. A lot of people getting their kicks off of turbo Crick. Right now I'm just looking to see if there's Doomsday in this list. So, on that note, if you want to follow along and check this deck out, you may do so in the description. That's how these work. They've always been down there. There should be no confusion over this. But yeah, the deck is called Daddy Issues. It is a copy and paste of one of our Brew Masters, Brandon Drennan. And Brandon Drennan, I'll just tee this off now. Oh my god, it stopped. There's peace again until the neighbors start doing something. Okay. I initially called this Yawgmoth Twice Removed, which makes no sense. Like he is the direct heir to that Thran physician's throne. But Brandon says, trust me, it's not what you think. It's mono black. What do you think I think it is? Fine-tune the deck was the only request. So Brandon, we're going to be fine-tuning it today, and just for you. Waiting to get snowed in. Andrew, yeah, thank you. I'm glad it's MLK Day tomorrow because my office is closed, so I don't need to go in. I worked over this weekend anyway, so I kind of made up for this holiday time, which I probably shouldn't have bothered doing, but I worked over the weekend. And I know here it's going to be snowing a lot. I think it might have started already. I haven't been outside today. I was doing errands all morning, so as soon as I came back, I did not want to go back outside. But it's supposed to snow all the way until tomorrow, and then I work all week. But I'm only leaving the house Wednesday, so I got plenty of time to kill before I need to touch any snow. And I bike everywhere now, so I really hope it didn't snow that bad, because literally the other day I skidded, I glided on a ice patch that was on the ground. Couldn't see it. Way too dark. It wasn't dark enough to be using my lights. I've got reflectors and stuff, a blinker on my bag. It wasn't dark enough to be using my lights, but it was dark enough that I couldn't tell that there was an ice patch on the ground. And literally hit this thing so hard, my bike. I have an electric bike. It's 80 plus pounds. This thing slid. And it was in a construction zone too. So these construction workers see me sliding, nearly falling on my ass. I catch myself by kicking my left leg out like a kick stop. And it has a throttle, so I just kept going. I acted like it was intentional, that near slip up, which would have sucked, because that bike goes entirely too fast. But no, electric bikes, I can recommend them. Very, very fun. I wouldn't recommend ones that are over 80 pounds, especially if you have stairs to go up, like I do. I'm abnormally, my right arm's getting more of a workout in my general day-to-day just for lifting this damn bike upstairs. But I just found out there's a way to get in my office that doesn't require the stairs. It's just a series of chutes and elevators. There's a ramp to a secret entrance with an elevator. I'm going to try that out next. All right. Can you guys hear me all right? Let's start there. Can you hear me all right? Are you excited for this? Is Yawgmoth or Crick your daddy? Let's continue this poll. What's the board game next to Quiver? Starts with a B. Nathaniel, and you guys are more than welcome to ask me anything. Literally anything. During the show, before the show. Okay, so we got a couple minutes for this. I go top to bottom. Right, so if you're looking up there, I don't know if you can see everything. You really can't see everything. I think you could see... Well, I'll just go through them. There's Dune up top. Someone bought us Dune, the board game, over the holidays. Allie's dad, thank you if you're watching. It hasn't been open yet because we've been focusing on another game that you got us. That, and then, anyway, the next board game, The Hunger, right? The Hunger, that was the other board game you got us. Splendor is up there. Amazing game, by the way. I don't know why I refrained from purchasing it, but it's fantastic. It's such an amazing game. And I say that, it's it was critically acclaimed, and I'm I don't know. What does the rest of the world know about board games? And it turns out they're right. Splendor's really good. Then under The Hunger is Quacks of Quedlinburg, and then there's Bees. Bees is the board game you're talking about, and I couldn't recommend Bees. I'm sorry. If you like strategy games, this is very loose strategy involved in this game. It involves odd movement, right? So there are games that are static, and there are games that are kinetic, and for some reason you're a bee in a hive. It's kinetic. You move around the hive, and you collect pollen from flowers. You're not in a hive. The board looks like a hive, if I remember correctly. But it's a hive of flowers. And you move around these flowers and you collect the pollen, and you're supposed to... It's a point game. You have more points than your opponents after, you're the mightiest bee. I don't know what the story behind it was, and I'm sorry if you were one of the developers, the designer of Bees. I would love to talk with you. It's not great in my opinion. We played it a few times. It's a pretty game to look at, but if you're going to play a game like that where you're resource collecting on a small map, like a grid map. Takenoko. This game, play this. Can you see that? Play Takenoko instead. That's a great game. Everything else that's made its way on the shelf is a great game. These games are still trying to make the cut. The Hunger's fun as a deck builder, but Allie, my significant other here, she don't care for deck builders. We tried. I tried. I really tried. It's fun though, and I'm not into deck builders myself. Like I obviously MTG is sort of like my fill of that. So playing other deck builders feels like a betrayal. But that one's fun. There's some good games up here. This one though, BattleCon. This is the one I always recommend. Like if you want to play a game that is purely strategy based, let me make sure. Yeah, shit. Look at this. Purely strategy based, purely matching your wits against your opponent. This game is so good. Easily one of my favorite games. I'll state that some of the characters that you can pick, it's like a fighting game, but you know, not on a console. It's like playing Street Fighter and knowing all the moves and being the best player up here, but then you're sort of turn by turn trying to match wits against your opponent, predicting what they're going to do so you can counterattack them or play aggressively and strike them first, like Cobra Kai. But yeah, this game is fantastic, and I highly recommend it. I will state though, some of the characters feel a little unbalanced, and maybe that's because I've lost to them too many times. But I prefer just like randomly picking a character and playing that game because it's more fun that way. Although much like a fighting game, you develop skills around certain fighters, like knowing how to play them. And you know, obviously you have your main in that. It's so good though. If you've never heard of that, level 99 games. Great job. All right, we're closing off the poll. I'm sorry, we're closing the poll. I'm curious as to who's your daddy. I gots to know. Crick is my daddy. Crick is my daddy. I don't have a bike, and my right arm is getting more working too from all the shuffling. All jazz all the time. I appreciate that. I would recommend a bike if you live in a metropolitan area if you don't mind getting hit by cars. Not fun. I can verify. It's not fun. You sound a little quiet, but I can still hear you. Did that make sense? Probably not. No, it makes sense. Let me look. So we're tipping in the yellow here. I'm at negative 7.9 decibels. Let's go up to negative 7 decibels. And negative 7 decibels. And I'm willing to assume that's because my face was away from the microphone. You can see it right here. I have it this way because I'm looking at a second monitor, right? But also I'm looking at this main one. So I'm hoping that it was just because I was looking that way. Okay, the rest of these questions. Bees nuts. Got him. Oh, shit, Nathan. Oh, how'd you get me? How'd you get me? These nuts? Oh, no. Finally made another one of these. Hey, Elvis Park. Congratulations to you. You are the luckiest 20th member of our stream. I don't know when you jumped on, but thank you for joining. I enjoy these. This is my break for the week. It really is. Honestly, the ease of use, I'll highly recommend using this camo software I'm using now. This is far more convenient than setting up a camera with a stream card and all that nonsense. This is the easiest bit of software, and this camera is actually pretty good. But it makes all of this so much more enjoyable for me, so hopefully we'll all enjoy ourselves. What's up, nerds, Spencer? Who you calling a nerd? Me? What? Does this look nerdy to you? Does this little toy look nerdy to you? Probably. Rest in peace, burnt offering. Yeah, exactly. You don't get to do that shit in Crick. Yawgmoth is the one true daddy. Kind of true. Getting hit by cars, check, not fun. Yes, Grant. Fact, it's true. I've done it once. I did it on a folding bike with 16-inch wheels. So, yeah, I was no match for that Jeep Cherokee, I gotta say. Was not a match for that illegal left-turning Jeep Cherokee. That's all I'll say about that. Microphone implant in the future. You know, we're not that far, right? oh my God, if everyone had smart devices implanted in them, I would say that'd be the end of the world. We're not too far from that though, but this is good enough. I think this is fine for now. Although I gotta say, I'm probably gonna sell this setup. I'm probably gonna sell these because DJI came out with one that's far more practical. I hate the software that comes with Rode's mic setup. If you ever need to buy a microphone for like vlogging or for funsies, these are fine, but DJI's just looks like the world's better. World's better. So I'll probably buy that. New Year's treat you well, my dude. Nintendo freak. Yeah, New Year's treated me well. I just, hey, I bought this. I can't really. It's funny. I'm on YouTube to just track and like add polls and do fun stuff because Streamlabs OBS doesn't let me do that. But about this, oh shit, I can show you. I can show you. I bought this for the New Year's. Check it out. I know there are some people that followed me from my watch time on YouTube here, but I bought this. It was from a brand I shot an interview for, and I really liked their watches for a long time, and they just come out with this. So I wanted to get something to celebrate the new job, but also because I fucking could for the new year. So I bought this Ferrer Cobb. Do I recommend it? Yeah, if it makes you happy, and if you think you're worth it. That's what I always ask myself when I'm about to make a big purchase. Am I worth it? The answer is usually yes. Not gonna buy that Lamborghini anytime soon. Not that I had the money for that. But yeah, I got this. That was great. I would say it's the second best thing. The first best thing is my girlfriend. She's great. Another new year with her. Love that. All right, where are we? Microphone implants, burnt offering. Definitely a little quiet. Michael Jordan. Well, if it's coming out of the mouth of Michael Jordan, the fingertips of Michael Jordan, then I know for sure it's a little quiet. Is it still, okay, here. Is it still quiet like this? Because it says we're in the red, right? And I'm not getting an actual like metering here. Like this isn't telling me the actual decibel value of like what we're hitting. But it says we're in the red. So if this is good and it's not peaking, there's not like a weird noise at the high end. When I talk like this, did it clip? Did it make a weird noise? Let me know. Okay. It's actually really good quality. Thank you, Grant. Yeah, I think Rode makes good products, but I've had so many issues with multiple products over the years from Rode. Most recently, I bought the Rode MTG mic. Can't recommend it. Cannot recommend it. I know people are like clamoring for it. I thought it was shit. I used it in an environment that had like a, I'm not gonna get into it. It was like a live event though with multiple people. So there was a lot of, it was very loud and it couldn't take it. Could not take it. Let me just put it that way. Which is not good for a shotgun mic. But should I hold my Vampiric Tutor? I opened a lot of Commander Legends and have an extra one. Mateus, like if you're not gonna use it, like if you don't keep, like I keep multiple decks, like if you're not gonna use it in a separate deck and it's just extra, I would sell it. I don't think it's, if you're wondering if it's gonna go up in value, maybe, but like I don't regret selling my Imperial Seal when I sold it and now look at Imperial Seal. I don't really regret those things. So long as it's not on the reserve list right now, I would say it's safe to sell because you never know how the prices are gonna go. Like when I bought my first Mana Crypt, it was $200 and then it was reprinted multiple times and then it was like $150. I think the lowest I saw was maybe like $90 for Mana Crypt. So I definitely paid, I overpaid, but it's not a bad thing. You could probably let go of the Vampiric Tutor unless they add it to the reserve list like next week and then I'm sorry. Buy your boxes of Commander Legends. And not only for that, but like those damn jeweled Lodi. Still really expensive. I wrote a primer for Yawgmoth because he's the true daddy. That's a really cool looking watch you got there. Thank you, Grant. It sounds good as is. Hey, okay. Well, then finally, okay, here, fine. Poll time. Is the mic too loud? Too quiet? I'll ask you guys. The best way to answer this, and then we'll kick off this video. But yeah, thank you, Grant. Yeah, I really like it. I haven't bought myself a watch in a long time. There's always I usually only buy vintage watches, right? So I haven't bought from a modern brand in a long time. And I'll say that there's a couple of quirks to this piece, but I'm really happy with it. Like, it uses this Solita movement, and Solita sort of just rips off what ETA is doing, these old ETA movements, and it's fine. I think the scale is certainly not what I would normally gravitate towards, but the appearance of the watch is everything to me, and I really love the aesthetic of this one. So how it makes me feel is important, and it makes me feel great. So yeah, I like it. And I bought this like leather strap for it too recently. It's really cool. I don't know. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. All right. Why don't we start this up? Why don't we start this up, brew babies? I probably need to go to Streamlabs first. Welcome back to the 99, where we're focused on brewing a better competitive commander. I bet that was loud. I'm your host, Patrick Marlette, and this is Brew Master, where I take you from start to finish on a brand new list. However, this time, that's not true at all. This is to meet the request of one of our previous brewmasters, Brandon Drennan, and I already went over Brandon's specifics. But all Brandon wanted to see for Crick is it to be finely tuned. And the list looks already pretty tweaked. Looks like it's pretty tuned already. So I'm excited to just sink my teeth into this. I'll let you know. No prior experience with Crick, so I hope you guys. Well, someone said that Crick's their daddy, right? That they wrote a primer for Crick. So if you know more than I know, then you're definitely going to be the best to help our pal Brandon Drennan. But that's the whole concept here. We're trying to brew a better deck together. I'm not a master brewer, despite the guise I put on, despite the appearances I show in public. I'm no master brewer. I just try my darndest like everybody else, okay? So I need you. I need you to help me. Make me look good on camera, okay? Because this exists on the internet forever now. So if we make a stupid deck, Brandon and everyone else is just they're gonna hate me. And I'll blame you guys. Let's not have that kind of relationship, okay? It's just very toxic. Anyways, why don't we go over to the deck list and look at who we're gonna be discussing today. So, you know what, actually, okay, it's on the screen now. This is Crick Daddy form, by the way. I'm gonna end that poll just to get a feeling where we are. 58% say it's too quiet. 58%. I don't know if I agree. We're gonna leave it here, and I'll encourage you to turn up your volume all the way, okay? Maybe it's your Bose speaker. Maybe you were lied to. It's not giving you the kind of output you wanted. Just crank that bitch up. Could just be that. Could just be that. I mean, this mic's pretty close to my face. But anyway, I had an Apple Watch check for a week and shattered the screen. Damn. Michael, my girlfriend, bought an Apple Watch, and like within the first week, she scratched it. Like she was using it for jogging and stuff and tracking fitness, and yeah. So I know exactly what you mean. Sorry about that. That's a bummer. Anyway, Crick, son of Yawgmoth. Let's pretend we don't know why we're here, and I'll read off what Crick does. For 4 generic and 3 Phyrexian black mana, which means we get to pay 2 life instead of paying black, although if you want to pay 7 mana for Crick, you can. Why not? So that means you can be really cute, and when you crack your Jeweled Lotus, you can say, blue mana, and cast Crick, right? Any rate. Legendary creature, horror minion. Nothing looks horrific about this boy. Let me tell you. 2/2 Bade, lifelink. Oh, there's a little bit of life gain for you to make up for all the life you lose. Because on top of that cute little owl's face, do you like the owl logo? I don't want to taint the audience's perception, but I'm curious, do you like the owl logo of these Judge promos? I'm just curious. Okay. For each black at a cost, you may pay 2 life rather than pay that mana. Pay that mana. I just like how that's worded. Whenever you cast a black spell, put a 1/1 counter on Crick, son of Yawgmoth. That's pretty gas. Not gonna lie, Crick sounds pretty dope. You know, ever since this printing came out too, I was like, do I make Crick? Do I build Crick? And this is the perfect opportunity because it's already made for me. Someone did it. Thank you, Brendan. Hopefully it's the perfect build and we don't have to do much with it. I love the fact, I don't know, do we use Adnos here? Okay, good. Okay. I was gonna say, like, we're gonna be losing a lot of life to just do value shit, in my earnest opinion. So I imagine that you're gonna be more value oriented with the build. I haven't looked over this, haven't looked at a Crick ever. I fought one Crick. Really, really sad day for that Crick. What did I do? I was playing some form of like mono white stacks and like I had a Drannith Magistrate and there were artifacts they couldn't destroy. It was like the worst day for Crick. It was never cast. I only fought Crick once, so I have no idea what it does. I've seen Crick Doomsday, like I know that's a thing, but otherwise I have no idea. So we're gonna look at this together. I'm gonna pull up the live edit so we can do that. If you want to stay in touch with how the deck is forming, I'll encourage you to go to the link in the description. You can follow along and we can test all of this out together. I will close out this poll though, because I'm curious as to what you guys think of the owl logo. Justin hates it. Justin absolutely hates it. I think it's kind of cute. Like, I don't mind it at all. I mean, relative to the kind of things WotC's been doing with like their border treatments and just how they've been doing cards in general these days, like this owl is like the least offensive thing I've found with modern MTG cards. So I didn't really care. 64% of you say yes, you like the owl. Cool, thank you. I agree. I agree with you. And then 35% are with Justin on this one. All right, let me turn to you guys. I voted for too loud, but it's not really that loud because I just turned my phone volume down and it's not loud at all. Great, thank you. Why wear a watch when you can just bring a stick and a compass with you? Oh my God. I'll be the first to say, despite working for a watch group, watches are obsolete. And I'm pretty sure that everyone would share that sentiment there. And we spend thousands of dollars on watches because we like them. There's really not much more to it, and I'm sure you can delve, more into that should you like. But yeah, they're completely obsolete. There's no reason that you should never buy one of these unless you want to get into the world of collecting like I am. All right. One of my favorite commanders, Nicholas. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for me because I like brewing mono colors a lot. I know I've said this in the past, I feel mono black is the weakest of the mono colors, despite having some amazing support spells. I mean, all the tutors, obviously Adnos is its own catalyst. Like if the deck is structured correctly, it has all the fast mana, yada, 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 you win the game, right? Like mono black has potential, but its fault lies in the fact that it has Feed the Swarm for enchantments now. Like it has little to no removal for artifacts and enchantments. And if you play against at least one stacks list, you get screwed really hard. So I know the general game plan for many a black list is to just go extremely proactive. I'm gonna beat all you guys out. I'm gonna go down to 4 cards and like make this thing come true. And it's like sometimes it just doesn't happen because the probability of that happening is just not high. However, here I like the fact that if you're just playing Crick for value, and it is valuable to be able to do what Crick is doing. That form of cost reduction is amazing. I feel like Crick probably does stand a fighting chance. Again, that one time I fought a Crick was definitely not like a determining factor for Crick's viability. Trust me, he just got really screwed. It was like me and then like one other person were playing stacks list, so no one was going anywhere. No one was going anywhere soon. And Crick was like 3rd in player order. I was 4th that game. So I mean, I definitely got fucked in that game, but Crick the worst though. Let's see here. I don't want them to blame you. Oh, I appreciate that. Let me see here. I would never hate you. Oh, thank you. A Shadowborn Apostle build. Oh shit, is that what this is? I put Harvester of Soul in there just to back up. The same thing happened with my Apple Watch, fell out of a bag and hit the cement, only after having it a few months tops. That sucks. I'm so sorry. Yeah, they don't really make them shock resistant. You know why? Money. I don't think, even if they could make them like as durable as a G-Shock, I doubt they would. I say you do build Crick. I say you do, but well, we will. This build does normally go doesn't normally go far. I don't see Night's Whisper, and yes, I'd use Ad Naus. Damn. Okay, Mage Skeleton. This isn't the most efficient list. Control, Fonzie, and Emmy Virus have cEDH list. I agree. The owl's pretty cool, looking cute. Okay, so I see a lot. I see a lot more comments coming up. Let me just do a general overview. I hear the freaking furnace firing up over there. Okay, so it's a Storm deck. Got it. Oh god. Elixir of Immortality. You gain 5 life. Maybe useful. Elixir of Immortality and your graveyard into its owner's library. Shuffle. Okay, so we need like Felden's Cane effects in this deck. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, there's a couple of these. I love this card, by the way. I've actually utilized this in many a mono black list because there's plenty you can do when you have a Razaketh out and a Felden's Cane. There's a lot of cool shit you can do. This is such an odd card, though. I never really recommend this as like a mainline strategy because it doesn't have many use cases outside of doing just that. Although there are other ones that let you shuffle your opponent's graveyards into their library, and that could be seemingly useful for Thassa players, which is everyone that has blue. So maybe there's a reason for that, although this is a little bit narrower. No, it does. No, it's your graveyard. Yeah, you can't choose with this. So it is limited in the sense of what you can do with it. I'm sure it's useful. I'll leave it there for now. Sensei's Divining Top. Cool. Skull Clamp, also cool. Potentially cool. Is there like a Bitter Blossom? All right, we'll look at that in a second. Okay. Now, the request, if we remember correctly, was to fine-tune this. Now, Brandon, that might mean make this the best Shadowborn build there ever could be. And I don't think Shadowborn makes any more sense in any deck other than this, but it's the basic fact that you can pay 2 life to play her and do the thing with her. I think 21 is fair. What is that on average? Like, the deck is 99 cards, so that's a fair amount, right? 1 in every 5? Very close to 1 in every 5, right? Just a little bit better than that, actually. So this seems okay. Blood Celebrant's cool here. I understand why you want that. If you're playing with Villas, which I see down here. And it seems like you would go... Do you have enough cards to discard with this guy? I don't know. I generally only... I don't really use Scourge Familiar. And we're certainly not going to incorporate Scourge Familiar if we do, you know, if we involve Ad Naus. I think that Ad Naus is probably... I hate to say, but I feel like Crick would become very much secondary to Ad Naus in this list. Like, if we put Ad Naus in the deck, we're probably going to want to play for Ad Naus. And I don't really see the support within the artifacts to permit Ad Nauseam. Like, we might have Cabal Ritual and Dark Ritual, right? Right. But you could probably throw in a few more 0 CMC rocks, like a Mox Diamond as well, which we'll probably do anyways, just to give ourselves more opportunities to cast Crick. Like, I think, you know, obviously the heavy generic mana producers make sense, like Grim Monolith, Mana Vault, sure, those all make sense to me. But I do think we still want those lower CMC ones. I don't think we use like Mox Opal or anything. Our artifact count's a little too low for that. And Mox Amber obviously doesn't help until Crick is down, and then we're going to be trying to cheat out things. So, at least in my noggin, that's how I see it. These are 5 CMC with Crick, right? That's cute. But we're trying to Shadowborn them out. I guess those are the only demons. So we'll draw our deck this way, or we'll search for a combo this way. And again, it's really just casting shit. So here's the thing. Aetherflux Reservoir, like, we can't do... Okay, so we need to, like, get our rituals. We need to get stuff to cast this, and then we would use... And then we use Razaketh to, like, nuke people, I'm assuming, right? Pay 2 life, search for one of these, I guess, pay for free. And you're casting it into Aetherflux, so you make life, and it's based off every single spell you've cast this turn, so, like, keep a die near you. I'm sure there's probably a better way to chain that Storm play, and we'll get to it when we get to it. These all seem fine. Like, if we're going to go the Shadowborn route, and I'll hold a poll in a second, like, if that's the way we want to go. It sounds, and I'm certain, like, since Crick's been released, that people have made super optimized, super cEDH versions of this. I kind of want to stick the Shadowborn Apostle route solely because that's what I'm seeing here. And if that's what he intended for us to fine tune, then I would prefer we fine tune this. I don't think Scourge Familiar is necessary. I could be dead wrong. I feel like it probably plays into Villas well, but I'm going to put it off to the side for now. Right? Because you could still entomb, reanimate, you can do some cute shit there. Meat Hook Massacre, cool. This is a good way to, whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you gain 1 life. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. And again, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong on any of my removals. Again, this is not a deck I've played. Discard 2 cards, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token. That's a lot of cards to discard for a 2/2. I understand why we would want it. I'm going to say that's probably not necessary. I like Meat Hook Massacre. Is this card still, like, outrageously expensive, by the way? Like, the name of it's fun. Oh my god. Yeah. Damn. Alright. Who needs a new PS4 game? Or PS5, I guess, if you have one. Just buy Meat Hook Massacre. It's going to give you all the same enjoyment. I'm sure that's great. I'm sure it's an outlet, right? Really hope so. Snuff Out, because we're not on Adnos. Imp's Mischief, love it. Plunge into Darkness, love it. Kind of underrated. It's good in mono black, though. I will say that we could probably give ourselves... I am such a sucker for Tainted Pack that I will make the land base to permit it. But we can avoid it and keep these beautiful swamps. Thank you for this. Scorched Ruin. Shit. Man, you're gonna maybe get there. I'm gonna take that out right now. It's fine, I'm sure. I think we could probably stick with 29 lands. I think. Culling the Weak, sure. Dark Ritual, yeah. Entomb, Reign of Filth. Damn, we going dirty here. We're going nasty. If you've never seen Reign of Filth, you can... Each one of your lands has the ability to sacrifice itself and you gain a black. Kind of cool. Sacrifice, it's Burnt Offering was mentioned earlier. Sacrifice is like the mono black equivalent to Burnt Offering. Songs of the Damned. Now, this does make sense as a ritual. I kind of wish we were doing, man, I kind of wish we were on some sort of like Dread Return package, but I don't think we generate creatures well enough. Like, if we're just using Shadowborn, I don't know. We got a shit ton of creatures, though. That's a lot of creatures in just Shadowborn. So I feel like there's a use case for a self-mill kind of strategy here as a way to just get the ball rolling quicker. But I don't know if we win with a self-mill. Anyway, we'll keep looking. Vamp Tutor, Village Rites. Village Rites. Damn, Village Rites to feed your zombie infestation, maybe? Village Rites is fine. I feel like, someone mentioned it already, I feel like Sign in Blood is better. Is it in here? I'm sorry. So Sign in Blood's here, and then it's Song of the Night or Song of the... I don't remember. Okay, it's something of the night. Someone said it, though. And I agree. I think I would probably prefer that, because we need the apostles, right? Don't we need the apostles to die for the sins of our demons? I thought, yeah, okay, all right. Lands, we've agreed that this is fine, right? This is cool. So in the off chance that Crick's been killed too much or that there is a Drannith Magistrate, I can agree with Command Beacon. I think many a mono white list can afford to use Command Beacon, unless your commander is like 3 CMC and under. In case of Savala, I would still probably recommend Command Beacon. But you don't always need this, but it's pretty good. It's pretty decent in a mono-colored list. Okay, so we're now into sorceries here. We've got Imperial, Seal, Reanimate, sure. Collective Brutality. This is a fun Escalate card. You don't really see it that often. I'm assuming the life gain is good for you. And the discard is good for you because you need to set up a Reanimate, right? So if you have like your Villas, your Razaketh, how did I almost forget his name, trapped in your hand, this is kind of a cool way to get value. Right, you can see your opponent's hand, yada yada. But it does a lot. We can keep it for now. I like cards like that. Diabolic Intent, Demonic, yep, all these make sense. Exsanguinate, I guess this is where... It's interesting, because you do like a Villas... Where's the life gain here, right? So if you're just like paying for shit, pay 2 life, pay 2 life, target creature gets -1/-1 until the end of turn. So you can sort of like funnel the crick mana to make it Phyrexian, just lose a lot of life and draw a lot of card. And I'm trying to see where you get the mana to make an Exsanguinate big enough. I've never been a fan of Exsanguinate. I think we can just get rid of Exsanguinate. I'm sorry. But both of these Storm cards feel slightly unnecessary. I would rather we just stick with 2 win cons. I don't know if that's probably crazy of me to say. I think Storm can exist with just Grim Monolith. Either Flux or Reservoir. I think it could just be that, and then I'm sure that we can eke out a win with Meathook Massacre. I'm almost positive we can do that. I feel like you probably don't need those 2 cards. I could be dead wrong. Secret Salvage. Peer into the Abyss is fine because it doesn't care about our life total where it stands. We still draw a lot of cards. We got Final Parting. We've got Final Parting, but not Buried Alive. That's interesting. I guess it's because it's technically 3 generic, and that's a lot of... I don't know. I can't help but feel that I would rather run a backup like... I would rather run like a backup Necrotic Ooze. Because at least if you ooze in this deck and like they're really stomping you, at least if you ooze, both of these things are still, you know, playable, right? Because ooze would get the pay 2 life, sacrifice another creature, and would also get the Villas thing, right? And by extension, be able to benefit from the Phyrexian cost reduction. I'm going to call it Phyrexian cost reduction. That's like no one pays for Gitaxian Probe, right? Unless you have to for some reason. So it's like a cost reduction. Life reduction. The life reduction effect. Yawgmoth's Will, all right? The King of Storm. In much the same way, I guess Elixir Immortality is used here. It's just a good way to like funnel back the Razaketh cards. All right, I'm gonna stop removing things where I am, and I'm gonna look to you guys. Help me. What do you want? Night's Whisper. Night's Whisper. I feel like Night's Whisper is probably good. It's a lot of life loss for 2 cards. All right. Let's go. I just want to see this. Scourge is for mana after Secret Salvage or the Peer into the Abyss. So exile a target on-land card from your graveyard. Search your library for any number of cards with the same name as that card. Reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your library. Oh, that's really cute. That's really, really cute. So, okay. I mean, yeah, I don't know. That seems like a real big dream scenario, right? I mean, you need to have cast this for, and again, I'm just going to pretend like we've got Crick out and this is all hunky-dory with everyone. That's 4 CMC. If we reanimate it, it's -2 life. And Secret Salvage, you need to put that in your hand. This is all, I don't know. I feel like we could do something else for the mana. Hold up. I can't imagine that this is the best solution. I don't know why. I just don't think there's got to be a better thing. I still like this though. I think that's kind of cool. Exile target non-land card from your graveyard. Search your library for any number of cards. Right, so just get all the girls out. And then you would like bring back your Razaketh and then use the Scourge Familiar. All right, I'm a little iffy here. Still a little iffy here on that one. Is LED viable in this? All right, I want to turn to you guys. Let's have a tete-a-tete. You guys want to have a tete-a-tete? Let's have a tete-a-tete. All right. Oh shit, there's so many comments. Thank you for your general interest in this particular commander. So I agree that was pretty cute. Okay, Moxfield is the best. Says someone whose name I cannot read, and I'm gonna disagree. I think it's okay. I think tapped out is the bee's knees. But who gives a shit? All right, that's interesting because you need ramp and draw power from apostles for apostle to work. What is up, Pat? Good to see you, bro. JC, thank you. And I'm doing all right. Some of the newest Crick tech is in the form of creature-activated abilities to get around counter magic and the rule of law. Yeah. Michael Jordan. It's an honor to have you in chat. MJ, what creature tech? Am I missing anything with this creature base? I can't help but feel there's probably like other creatures that have come out that Crick might enjoy. So let me know. Yo. Wait, Flesh Writher. Have you guys seen this card? I'll read it off. Sorry. Actually, I like this card a lot. Here. Thanks for bringing this up. But yeah, it's a transfigure card. Basically, you can search for a 4-drop this way. Search your library for a creature with the same converted mana cost and put that card into play. Necrotic Ooze. It's a goofy way to do an amazing thing. And genuinely, I like Flesh Writher here. Damn, I really want to add Necrotic Ooze. I want to add Necrotic Ooze to everything, but you tell me, is that the most optimal thing? Yeah, but the deck doesn't try to draw into 6 Shadowborn and cast them. Necrotic Ooze. Okay. Michael, you in the Crick Discord? Nobody. If somehow he can fit Leshrac, Sigil, and Pontiff of the Blight, it would make the deck a bit more consistent, in my opinion. Okay. I think I know the Sigil. Leshrac Sig. Whenever an opponent casts a green spell, you may pay 4 life. If you do look at the player's hand and choose a card from it, the player discards that card. That's interesting. I don't have that many players that play with green, and I hate to say it. Yeah, I can see where this is good, though. It's weird. I don't really... Other than, like, a Kenrith deck, and it's the occasional Noxious Revival and a Neoform. So there's that. I don't know. Okay, all right, and sorry, and Pontiff of the Blight. Any Extort would be great. I get that, though. I definitely get the Extort, just as a backup win con. And bear in mind, guys, if you're wondering, I know there's a white symbol there, but if it's in the reminders text, that fucking weird commander rulings, if it's in the reminder text, it doesn't count, okay? But yeah, we can use the Extort here to do stuff. It's a 2/7. I don't mind the idea of Pontiff of the Blight. I don't know, though. I get what's trying to happen here, though, and that would be a decent way of killing your opponents. Let me see here. Ellipsis. Elixir makes the deck infinite. Agree with you, though. Scourge is for mana after Secret Salvage or Peer into the Abyss. Felden's Cane for flavor, since he traded it for Master of Black Magics. Ooh, shit. Oh, shit. Felden's Cane. Wait, so does this elixir not get exiled? I'm sorry. You're saying I can go infinite with this elixir somehow? You gain shuffle elixir from your graveyard into your library. You gain 5 life, shuffle elixir of immortality, and your graveyard into your owner's library. I'm sure someone can explain this to me. I'm assuming that this is part of the Aetherflux combo. You're making infinite mana. How? And then you're going to use this. Is this a Scourge Familiar thing? It all seems very costly to me. Super fragile combo, though. 1 counterspell and poof. Yeah, fill your hand with Peer cards and Scourge. Use the mana generated for Giant Exsanguinate Torment. I don't see a Torment of Hellfire, but I like Torment of Hellfire better than Exsanguinate. Speaking of cards that have come out that are just good. Peer into the Abyss, Zombie Infestation, Ayara. I don't see Ayara either, but we can look at her. Ayara. Whenever Ayara, another black creature enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent loses 1 life. You get. See, you know, meet Hookmasker. Don't we have that? But she's free, right? She's 6 life. We could do Ayara if you want, though. I don't mind the idea of Ayara. Just more of those. What do they call them? Aristocats. More of those. Nice Whisper, thank you. Song of the Damned, because all the apostles in the graveyard. Yep. Secret Salvage. Let me see here. I recommend, okay. I'm getting to the bottom. I don't play cEDH. I play Chainer, Gary, and Viscera. Infinite with my Crick. Okay. I recommend Harvester of Souls as backup, Stitch Together, Putrid Imp, and Soul Exchange. So what I'm going to do, if we are going this route, right, the Apostle route, which I think is fair, makes sense, what I want to do is just add some of those cards that you guys think would work well in this list, and then we'll cut, I'm not going to call it chaff necessarily, but we're going to trim the fat off our lean Crick daddy, right? So Harvester of Souls is another draw utility, if I'm not mistaken. Right? It's just a gnarly looking demon dude, right? Yeah. Whenever another non-token creature dies, you may draw a card. I'm sorry. Is there not a better draw a card creature? Wait. Draw a card. Draw a card. Whenever draw a card. And let's just do creature. Do we need this is a backup for Villas, right? And we want him specifically because he's a demon. So creature. You might be right. That might be the only other demon that does that. But I'm going to look based off of release date here. Oh my God. Draw a card. All right. I should probably have put demon in there. It has lifelink as long as you have 5 or more count. Crick only puts 1/1 counters on himself, right? Pretty sure. That would have been cute though. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, put a 1/1 counter on Thrabex. If that creature was a cleric, you may draw a card if you do lose 1 life. I mean, Tabarax, excuse me. Hope's Demise is in fact a demon, and if I'm not mistaken, Shadowborn Apostles are clerics. But we'll do the Harvest. I'm going to assume that Harvester is better. I really don't know. So we'll just go. We'll go with that. Oh my God, Time Sorrow Remastered. Oh, foil, yes. All right, and I'm sorry, we have Stitch Together. I do like Stitch Together. Can't help but feel there's probably a better. Is it the cost of Stitch Together? Like, is this just better for, yeah, it's double black. Right, because in my mind, I'm like, can't we just use Shallow Grave? Blah. Can't we use this at instant speed? Is it because we get to do this for 4 life instead? Because this has a threshold before it like becomes active, but you should be at threshold, right? Return target that card from your graveyard to the battlefield and sorcery speed. Oh, I can't help but feel like Shallow Grave is just a better card still. Anyway, Putrid Imp is cute, and you want Putrid Imp simply for the discard? I'm gonna hold off on Putrid Imp. I would rather use like, I'll look it up later. And Soul Exchange. Soul Exchange is the Thrall one, right? You bring a thing back. Is this also like all the black mana? Let me just, sorry, Soul Exchange, Thrall Exchange. Let me just state that Crick isn't always going to be on the battlefield, right? I don't know. If I understand your strategy works because you have Crick, I'm probably going to kill Crick often, right? So I don't want all my cards to be contingent on Crick. And it is mono black, so like you should be able to get away with it. But I saw a lot of generic producing lands. I mean, we kicked the Scorch Ruins, right? So I definitely don't want to rely solely on Crick here. We can look at other recovery spells, enemy reanimate spells. But let me see here. Oh my God, so many thoughts. Your hand appear, discard. No. There are so many comments, and I thank you, that Final Parting Villas and Reanimate is OP. That makes sense. Mausoleum Secrets is bloop, bloop, bloop. Echoing Return. I just saw so many recommendations. Someone said something about Necrotic Ooze, though, and I want to read what you said about Necrotic Ooze. It's all I care about. Just to explain Retroact Sigil, you're running it for pay 4 life and return to your hand, then pay 4 life to recast it. It's solely there for Villas. This is just Villas tech. Is it just Villas tech? Wait, I'm confused. Wait, does Villas not have the ability to just put -1 counters on the thing? Like, Why don't you just do this? Am I mistaken? If we're just trying to like stack this ability and draw cards, then I would just do that. Why do you want to? Is this storm? Is this how you storm? This is how you Etherflux? Is that really the only way to Etherflux? I can't buy that. I don't. No. It just seems like a shit card. It just seems like a shitty card. Necrotic Ooze is badass, Pat. Did I read that right? Pat, Necrotic Ooze is badass. You should check out Control Fonzie and M-Virus new list in the database. I'm sorry, nobody does. Do you use Necrotic? Do they use Necrotic Ooze? Am I the only man alive that wanted to use Necrotic Ooze? Are you saying that other people wanted Necrotic Ooze? Because we'll play it. We'll play it, damn it. Because I really do want to play it. I like the original. Are we playing Necrotic Ooze? Okay, sorry. We're going to throw it up in a poll. That's why I'm on YouTube today. Do we Necro Ooze? Do we Necruise? See what I did there? Okay. Do we Necruise? And I leave it to you. Why not add Tevesh? Mr. Svat? Why not add Tevesh Svat? Because if Tevesh was in my hand, I would never cast Crick. I don't know why you wouldn't. It's draw in like token generators and doesn't master Crick. Hold up. Whenever you cast a black spell, you draw 3 cards if you kill Crick if you have the mana to recast Crick easily enough. How about that? That's not me. It's the heater on the wall. Cloudstone Curio with Apostle and Extort effects. Greatness at any cost. Oh my god. Wait. Was there not a Dark Confidant? I can't help but feel Dark Confidant is kind of a staple in Mono Black list. Right? Don't you want draw? I can see why you would avoid it here because of the high CMC of things, but there aren't that many high. This is when I cast the Dark Confidant today and I hit the Razaketh into the Villas, then, you know, I'll regret everything. Elixir goes infinite because if Razi is out or you have Shadowborn out, you can keep tutoring and get it. You need to cast Elixir, shuffle, repeat. So nobody. You're stating that with Elixir, because it shuffles into your library, you can grab it. How did you make the mana to do that? I know I'm missing something. I'm sure it's very large scale, like big brain thinking, like it's a bunch of cards that are making this happen. But I'd love to know how you make the mana to do that. That's from Dark Confidant. Yeah, it is. I put it in because you said that. Necrotic Ooze lines are all over the cEDH database list. Good. It should be. You know, okay, so if we do go with Necrotic Ooze, I could see us putting in Scourge Familiar again, because there's a really great Buried Alive pile, which I don't think is in the list with that. And I would honestly rather Buried Alive. I would rather Buried Alive, Razaketh, Villas, and Necrotic Ooze, so I don't hit those high CMC things, but also just reanimating Necrotic Ooze would be amazing in that instance. Yeah, I mean, obviously you miss the effect of drawing, but we'll carry on and figure that out as we go. I mean, if you have the Razaketh, I guess you could just kill Crick and grab your reanimate, and then no, you wouldn't want to kill your Dark Confidant and reanimate the Villas. And by the way, reanimate. I'm sure you guys already know this. I probably don't need to say this, but if you were to reanimate Villas, you'd get a lot of cards. Crick plus Etherflux or Pontiff with 6+ creatures, infinite life, and win. Crick plus Etherflux Reservoir or Pontiff. Crick plus Etherflux Reservoir or Pontiff equals infinite life, win. Now, is this how Mage Skeleton? What is that line you speak of? I'm sure you're right. Uza Amadeus, yeah, see, yeah. I do like the Asmodeus line, I'm not going to lie to you. Does this deck run Withering Boon It doesn't run Withering Boon. It could run Bubbling Muck, as a matter of fact. That is actually a very good, and thank you for that suggestion. It's a good piece of ramp. I think it's just the one printing. We'll use that. Necrotic Ooze, I was about to mention Asmodeus and Archfiend. Just use top. Just use top. Necrotic Ooze, just use top. Just use Sensei's Divining Top over Necrotic Ooze. What about Stinging Study? What about Stinging Study? Huh? What about Stinging Study? Let's find out. I don't know what it's about. Oh god, that looks painful. You draw X cards and you lose X life, where X is the mana value of a commander you own on the battlefield or the command zone. I think that there are probably better things to do. Pay 5 to draw 7. I can't help but feel like Ad Nauseam is probably stronger than this, right? And which is sort of like the catch-all. It's like the card you go for in most instances, especially if you're in black. I still want to avoid it because I'm assuming that Brendan wanted to avoid it for a reason. We can add Asmodeus, Archfiend Asmodeus. Yes. Here's what I want to do. Oh shit, I want to add Mox Diamond too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a sucker for Mox Diamond. And I can't help but feel like Lion's Eye Diamond would be useful here. Do you not need that punch of mana at some point to do a thing? Right? Am I crazy? Is LED? Is LED used? I'm going to put it in the deck. Putting it in the deck. I'm going crazy. It's just happening. Can't stop me. It happened already. All right. So we're going to add Scourge Familiar back in. There's still no... There's still no Ad Nauseam, so we're safe. Right? Mox Diamond, LED, cool. All the mana. All the mana, all the time. We've got it. We've got creatures at the wazoo. Maybe too many. Blood Celebrant. Blood Celebrant is super cute. I don't see us needing it. I'm sorry. I don't see us needing it. I'll put Scourge Familiar in though. And I am actually on board with the Flesh Writher. I just haven't gotten there, obviously. I think that I want to look over our tutor suite really quick as well to make sure we've got this square. What is the ooze? Necrotic Ooze. Yeah, what's it do? LED is fine with Razaketh. We can go to 13 Apostles. We do have an alt reanimate version of this deck. So I genuinely feel like that this is too many. Okay, I'm sorry. I feel like Necrotic Ooze is a shoe-in, right? Like, okay, yeah. 76% say Necrotic Ooze. I am 100% on board with 76% of you. However, the thing I am interested in right at this minute is Shadowborn Apostles. Okay. Do you want 21 as it is? Do you want the suggested 13? Or mystery option? How many and you must, it's a requirement. Required. Because we're doing a Shadowborn build. How many Shadowborn Apostles is too many Shadowborn Apostles? It seems like to me, and I don't even understand, like, you are using Razaketh to find a Shadowborn Apostle, to eat and find another Shadowborn Apostle, to put in your graveyard, to then cast this spell, to put them all into your hand, then shuffle your library. I'm not seeing it. I believe you though. And when we play, you can correct me as I fuck up royally. I'm not seeing it though. I think that Shadowborn Apostle is really cute, and I don't know how many to put. 13 seems like it would be low, but if it was a self-mill strategy, it might make sense to me. I mean, you need 6 of these suckers to do that thing, but it didn't sound like we wanted to do that thing. We're sort of just using them for some other reason, which I don't rightly understand because I've never tried to do this. I did try to do Shadowborn once, and it was not good. No bueno. Okay. Oh shit, that is lit. Entomb and see. Oh hey, did we add Is there not a new tutor that finds non-legendary? Because honestly, I would like to. You could probably. Is there a reason for using? Is there a reason for using this? Unmarked Grave. Let me just look at this really quick. It's a non-legendary card just to put into your graveyard. Let me look really quick. Just looking at the non-legendary things that we could do. It feels like with a Yawgmoth's Will, like if you're setting up a good Yawgmoth's Will, like it wouldn't hurt to have Unmarked Grave to pitch something in there. It's just like another form of Entomb. Obviously Entomb is far greater, but it's still fine. I'm sure there's probably an excuse for Unmarked Grave, and we can look into that in a second. It's just another tutor. All right. What is the combo you plan on using as your go-to win condition? It really depends on the hand I'm dealt. If I'm being perfectly honest with you, like I've set it up this way, it wouldn't be difficult to get to Asmodeus / you don't even need Scourge Familiar for that, but it wouldn't be hard to get to the Necrotic Ooze lines. The way I see it playing out, whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, you gain 1 life. So this is not really a win con so far as I see it. You do need some amount of life gain, and right now it's just Aetherflux Reservoir and a handful of draw, right? Here, there, everywhere, here, right? Okay, hold on. The other kill spell, because I took all of them out. The other kill, I can't do that. I like Extort better than these. Yeah, I don't know why that is. And it was the 2 recommendations, I think. There was a recommendation for the Extorter creature, the 6 AMC one, or Aetherflux Reservoir. I don't know why those feel like the best options. I think it's a simple fact that they have value outside of being finishers, right? Like if that's just on the field, extorting on my cast is just a good thing to do. As a matter of fact, why don't we just look at the extorters really quick? Because the one we looked at is other creatures have extort, right? So it's almost like doing what Aetherflux wants to do. And I don't think that's a bad idea. It was this Pontiff of the Blight, right? Other creatures you control have extort. That makes sense to me. Whenever you cast a spell, though, you pay bleh and you have extort. So if you cast one thing, you can pay. You would pay the 2 life on all the things, and then each opponent would lose 1 life, and you would gain that much life. So basically, you're gaining 1 life in return for casting 1 spell. It's pretty badass. Like I like that combo. I can understand why you would want to do Pontiff of the Blight. So I'm actually down for that as opposed to one of these other things. I would rather have that on a permanent that was reanimatable. So let me add Pontiff of the Blight. I don't mind that. I don't mind that concept. Although I'm certain you can make excuses for any line of play here. This is pretty open-ended, like this deck strategy. I do think that we're going to cut Shadowborn Apostles out to make way for many a card in this deck, and there's plenty of things I still think we should slot in that aren't here because of the amount of Shadowborn Apostles. So I'm actually going to tune in with you guys to see your thoughts on the composition of the Shadowborns so far. Let's see here. And I'll give you a little bit more time. Mage is not running Thrumming Stone. We don't need 28. I think Secret Salvage to get Apostles. I would recommend at least 28 or more. Wow. Okay. You want to storm into Tendrils of Agony? Maybe. Bolus's Citadel, Mortuary, Apostle, Extort, Infinite Loof Drain. Okay. All good with however many, just my friendly opinion. Lake of the Dead. Is Lake of the Dead not in here? No, it's in there. Thank God. Okay. That's a good card. Secret Salvage into Razzie, Final Parting into Villas, or Peer into the Abyss. All use Aetherflux or Tendrils. Villas is legendary. Villas is legendary. Villas is legendary. I'm looking to build him as a commander. It's not a bad idea. Chainer and Gary are staples typically. Chainer, Dementia, Master, Gary, Merchant of Asphodel. Right, I could see that. Because, okay, I could see what you would want to do there. Dimir, Houseguard, and Shred of Memory. Gravestorm is as a win con from Storm. Gravestorm is fun. right? And it exists. It's a sorcery speed spell. Give me 1 second. It's called Bitter Ordeal. If we're talking about this card with Gravestorm, it's the only card with Gravestorm. It is a win con technically, like if they don't have a library to play with. But I mean, someone could still win out over you if they were able to like Noxious Revival something back on top of their deck, be able to draw that card, and they just have the win in hand, right? So I mean, there are instances you can get out of this, but I think for the most part, Gravestorm usually wins. Bitter Ordeal usually wins. I don't know if we need that. I don't want to add extraneous cards. I feel like with 2 win cons, that's honestly enough, especially because what we're trying to get going requires a lot of us. So if we get over that initial hurdle, then I think that having 2 win cons is likely enough. I hear a highly recommend in the audience. Return target creature card and all other cards with the same name from your graveyard to your hand. Now, is the idea to go... Oh, this is relatively new. This is kind of cool. So, like, when you do the Razaketh thing with the Apostles, you would Echoing Return them back to your hand. I mean, that feels a whole lot cheaper than Secret Salvage. So I'm going to actually put Echoing Return in here, and I'll put Unmarked Grave. And I'll close out this poll. And I'll close out the poll. Echoing Return seems cool. Again, I don't know a professional line of play for this many Shadowborn Apostles. I feel like one's just going to get eaten up by a Chrome Mox and then we just move on with life. But let me see. We got 27 for 13. We got 27 for Mystery. And we have 45% of you are still on 21. 45% are still on 21. Okay. There is no Thrumming Stone as well, which is, I think someone mentioned, like, I feel like many a time when you see this many creatures, if it's this or the Persistent Petitioners, if you haven't seen the new art, wait, oh, it's probably not on here. It's probably not on here. Is it on here? Yeah, it's on here. So if you have, like, Persistent Petitioners, you would use Thrumming Stone. This is hilarious if you haven't seen this. I will say, I like some of what they're doing with Secret Lair, and it's shit like this. Good job, Watsy. It's funny. Please, tickle my funny bone as much as you want. Okay. Leans on all the black makes you pay life for draw, and you're trying to storm into tendrils. Wouldn't Sadistic Sacrament be better than Bitter Ordeal? I'm sure Bitter Ordeal is kind of outdated. It exiles, though, Pat. Which one exiles? I'm sorry. Did I recommend something that... Are you talking about... No, Ken Standish. Like, if they have a graveyard still pre-existing, they can Noxious Revival any of that. Is that what we're talking about? Bitter Ordeal exiles their library. You can't touch cards in their graveyard. Am I wrong? It doesn't matter. I don't think we're going to use it. Search a player's library for a card, remove it from the game. Yeah. If they still had a grave, which is very likely, they'll just Noxious Revival anything in their grave. You want Secret Salvage to pull the Apostles from your library into your hand, then Echoing Return to pull them from your graveyard, storm into Tendrils of Agony, Aetherflux Reservoir. What Mage said. I like, thank you. I like where we're at. Here's what we're going to do. Let's cut cards. I'm still of the mindset that 21 is high, but 45% of us feel that 21 is perfect. That's nearly half of the viewing audience. So I'm curious, what would be an agreeable number of Shadowborn Apostles? I kind of feel like we can probably cut 4. We could go down to 18. Let's just say 3. Is that fair? I want Dark Confidant. I want Delphi Voidwalker. I want Opposition Agent. I do want Necrotic Ooze, Scourge Familiar, Asmodeus are lines of play. I think that Harvester of Souls might be one too many cooks in the kitchen. I think that we were probably going to try to focus Villas more over anything, right, before we ever go to Harvester. And I feel like Harvester is predominantly for a Shadowborn thing. And if we're trying to do that, actually do that, I'm still a little hazy. I don't even think about Thrumming Stone, but that's usually the main line of play when you see like one of these two guys here. So, I don't know. 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 I again, I'm just a little confused because I've not done this. However, we're fine tuning it. Damn it. Okay, I really just want to play it. I'm like hella curious to see how this works. This is the only deck I would probably recommend Grim Tutor in. Toxic Deluge is fine. Final Parting makes total sense. All these make sense. Oh, damn it, all these make sense. Even Unmarked Gray makes sense to me. Okay, I'm going to narrow this down. It's happening. I'm sorry, it's happening. I gotta go somewhere in the middle. Somewhere in the middle. Gotta commit to near 20, I feel. Okay. I tuned out for a moment. What was your opinion of Bolus's Citadel? Am I wrong? Like, I feel like Bolus's Citadel, I know it's predominantly used in this deck, right? It's a really great Storm card for Crick because you can sort of go through the motions with Crick here. I don't know that I necessarily... Holy shit. Is this a real version? Sorry, I get very distracted with art. Damn, I'll play it now. I'll play it now. So I think it's fine. Am I mistaken? Aren't there Crick builds that focus on this for a win? Or can this be slammed into any Crick build? Because I understand that people like this as a condition for Crick. Let's put it up. Do we Bolus's Citadel? Do we Citadel? How about that? Do we? What the hell? Wait, no. Oh no. Okay, I'm still here. Are you still there? YouTube is falling to pieces right now. YouTube is falling to pieces. Do we Citadel? Okay. All right. Hatred is a cool win con, I feel. Hatred is a cool win con. Oh, Hatred's a cute one. Didn't the price of Hatred shoot up recently? I honestly forget why. It's reserve list, that's why. I'm sorry. As it costs to cast a spell, pay X life. Target creature gets plus X. Yeah, it's a cute win con. I feel like mostly see that in that one Rakdosian dude, and I forget his name. But it's usually used there, and it's definitely nets you a win and a lot of draw. Bolsus is used in a deck, but it's not used much anymore. All right, so you just don't want to storm with that, or rather it's not a good way to storm. Okay. Got to commit to at least 20, I feel. I don't know. It's so cheap. Oh, that sick-looking Boluses? Yeah, right, Ken? Am I wrong? Like, I got mine for $3. Oh my god. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think that Bolus's Citadel is in Justin's cube, and it's very good there. It's a power cube. I've always wanted to play it, though. I've just never committed to playing this card. It's just a very odd Storm card to me, but I could wrap around my head if it looks this cool. I could wrap my head around it. Bolus's Citadel, Sensei's top, plus either flux equals a win con. That's just another redundancy, right? I don't think Bolus's Citadel doesn't have a place here. I guess what I'm saying is, do we want it in the deck? If we think that it is a viable way to win the game here, I like it. I like it a lot. So I'm curious as to your thoughts. If the focus is Shadowborn Apostle, Grim Horospex and Midnight Reaper would be more useful. So Grim Horospex, they effectively act the same way. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, draw a card. So what's odd is that we are focusing on the demon variant, and there's a couple of creatures that do this, right? Same thing with the Midnight Reaper, or yeah. It's same thing whenever a creature dies. And I think Midnight Reaper is a little bit better because it doesn't need to be non-token. I might be completely wrong, but it's a rare... No, it does. It does 1 damage to you and you draw a card. Do they both do damage? Okay, so this one's slightly better, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense to me. We have this as a backup. It also happens to be a demon, which is interesting. But if we're not trying to get Harvester of Souls out via Shadowborn Apostles, I don't quite understand the need for it to be a demon that does that. Because I would probably rather run Grim Horospex over that, right? Precisely what you said. I win as the only voter. Well, I'll let you guys get in a few more votes. You Citadel in most mono black cEDH, says Boned Appetite. Um, citado or don't. Citato. God. Citado or citadon't? That is the question. You like how long it took me to get there, sir. Bone, I would read updates on cEDH list about Citadel. Is it really that bad? I firmly citado. Greven, thank you, Mage. It's Greven is the Rakdosian leader I was speaking of. All right. Crick and Vito are nasty combo together. Oh, is this like, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. So you're not really gaining life with Crick. Until you give your creatures life link. I feel like there's more steps here, but I agree with you. If you want to storm like a pro, says Knocker, I'm joking. With Apostles, you need Bolas' Citadel for sure. Hunted Crossroads and a sack outlet. Pay 2 life, put the Apostle on top of your library, then cast again. Oh, yo! Whoa. You just said a card I've never seen. Haunted Crossroads? Hold the front door. Hodor. Put target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. Oh my god. There's truly nothing I love more than a Mercadian Mask foil. So, you might have sold me here. I've never heard of this card. Okay, I get the Bolas' Citadel with, yes, definitely, with our Shadowborn, you know, a little taste of Shadowborn Apostles. I get that. If you want to storm, yeah, okay. The deck is only the deck I'd run Vorpal Sword in. This deck is the only deck I'd run Vorpal Sword in. Haunted Crossroads, okay. There's a lot of interesting cards being thrown out there. I gotta say, whenever a creature dies, deals common damage to a player, that player loses the game. Well, until the end of turn, what? I can understand why. There's a $70 version. Oh, okay. Bolas is just one of those cards where it's a second ability that it doesn't need. How much redundancy is too much? I would say that anything beyond 2 things. Like I would say you have the main line and then you have a backup, right? For that, if it's that same thing though, like if our only win con happens to be these extort effects, these, I said it earlier, oh my god, aristocrat kind of lines. I mean, we're not using Blood Artists, but you know what I'm saying. Like they lose life, we gain life. If it's just those, I would say 2, right? But Aetherflux Reservoir is one of our storm cards, and then we have the, oh my god, Pontiff of the Blight. So we want Bolas' Citadel. Haunted Crossroads can be used with Gray Merchant. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go back out again. We're going to add. Y'all said it. How does he deal with his daddy issues? He visits Bolas. Yes, we're using this version. And it will definitely be foil. I think that we're not on Gray Merchants. Although it did also get new art, which I'm not as high on. I would probably just go with this one. If you're coming to this channel, you need to understand that we're going to talk about the art just as much as the effect. I think that Gary's cute. I think that Gary makes sense here. Am I mistaken? Is Gray not as heavily leveraged in the cEDH version of this build? Is that a fact? Am I just making that up? I mean, it makes sense here. Would you want to, okay. 50 Shades of Gary, anyone? So you could, okay, I know this question doesn't make sense, but do you want Gray Merchant of Asphodel or not, is what I'm saying. Haunted Crossroads, yeah. Mortuary might be better than the Dark Crossroads card. Mortuary might be better than the Dark Crossroads card, you say. You know, we might want both if we're looking for redundancies. So whenever a creature is put into a graveyard from play, you may put that creature on top of your library. Oh, shit. Oh, damn. So it's not a choice. This could muck up. It's not bad. It's not a choice. That's the thing that gets me. Whenever a creature is put into your graveyard from the battlefield, put that... I don't know. What do you guys think over Mortuary, though? All right. Mortuary might be better. Yeah. There's a divergence of builds right now, Pat. Oh, God. Some are extra turbo to win under an attempted rule of law. Others are a little grindier. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think we have a lot of Storm cards in here to build up for those Storm plays, like the Reign of Filth. There's sort of a mixed batch of cards in here, and I think we should certainly solidify what's happening with the deck. I agree. In my opinion, you already are trying to do too much having ooze stuff. To be perfectly frank, I would rather rely on ooze stuff because it just means one buried alive and a reanimate, right? Like that's easier for me to accommodate than, I don't know, it's like just the manic cost requirement is what I'm thinking about. And I know that our boy reduces some of the costs, but even like the final parting costs more than running a buried alive pile, right? So I feel like ooze is just a better backup line. It also effectively gives you options in your opponent's graveyards, and you can win that way. I know you don't think about it, but like, you can definitely win with opposing creatures. But Necrotic Ooze doesn't just hit your graveyard, though we only think of it that way, right? So there's a lot of good stuff in there. Mortuary and Corvold is so nasty. Y'all are making me want to do Citadel again with all these Crossroads and Mortuary cards. Okay, so I really want to look at this effect. Is Mortuary and Haunted Crossroads the best, truthfully? Is there not like a cheaper one? Like Tortured Existence? Does this do what I think it? Choose and discard a card, return target creature card from graveyard to your hand. Choose and discard a creature card, return target creature card that doesn't really do anything, does it? We want to cast the thing, right? Is that what we're trying to do? I do like Tortured Existence, though. I can't help but feel there's some thing here. Probably not. Okay, so we'll do the Haunted Crossroads because it was suggested first in that there's a foil, and that's important to me. Hey guys, does anyone know when the new Dracula Secret Lair special is released? The Hunger of Ancient One. Thanks, love the channel. Caleb, I don't. Thank you for tuning in. The only wins you can do under Rule of Law in Mono Black is Chainer or Exquisite Blood. Yeah. So, okay, so our concern right now is the fact that our balls are in a vice if there's a Rule of Law. This is true. So, okay. And we do mean this one, pay 3 life, put target creature card from graveyard into play under your control. That creature is black. In addition, okay. Remove all nightmare. So you need a sack outlet with this to work too, and it would be something like gray. I'm sorry, we still have a poll going on gray. If you haven't participated, I think that a majority of people want gray merchant in the deck. So we can add Grey Merchant of Asphodel. And again, we're going to go for the Time Spiral, the probably very expensive version. With Razaketh, you stack the triggers first, you tutor, then put the creature on top. There's Phyrexian Reclamation. Phyrexian Reclamation, I remember the art, I don't remember the specific wording, so we can look at that really quick. I don't know, this feels grindier than what we should be doing potentially. I could be wrong though. My internet is choppy. I hope it's not so choppy for you guys. Okay. So the only qualm here is that Phyrexian Reclamation does require a generic, and Crick will let us do this just entirely, right? So this is good as a bolus card, where this is not as good, in my opinion. But this is sort of the go-to, I feel like, in most other lists. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Let's, with what we have now, try to parse out what makes most sense for this deck. I think that we're close to that point, though. So, all right. Phyrexian Reclamation seems pretty nice. Viserys Seer, Carrion, ooh, God. Carrion Feeder plus Gary with Chainer. So, the way I see us taking this, and I gotta be frank with you, I still don't see the point of the Shadowborn Apostles. I think that I'm still a little confused to their existence in the list. I'm sorry. I'm sure. There might be a. What is the frequency? Okay, so it sounded like earlier we were saying that Shadowborn Apostles aren't necessarily there to have all 6 out and do the thing, like, you know, summon Exodia or whatever. Like, that's not really what happens unless we're on some sort of crazy Thrumming Stone strategy. And I feel like that is something that's going to wait till like turn 4, turn 5 to actually come to fruition, sadly. So right now, the win cons are Aetherflux Reservoir, Pontiff of the Blight. Now, Pontiff of the Blight works, and I'm sorry, Gray, Merchant of Asphodel. So we didn't add Chainer, although I can see why you would want to add Chainer. If we used Chainer, Villis, Gray, Crick, then we could pay the life to kill Gray. Oh my god, that's a lot of life to kill Gray. But we should be gaining a lot of life in doing this as well, right? Oh my god. We should gain a lot of life in doing this as well. So I think that that would work to effectively kill Gray without having to add a creature that kills Gray. Oh my god. I gotta say, I hate adding Viserys Seer and Carrion Feeder in the list. Like, I hate seeing them. I know I own a copy or two because I used to play like with Protean Hulk. I had a Varol's build like ages ago, so I own like a lot of those stupid cards, but I don't generally like them because they don't generally fulfill a purpose outside of their combos, so I don't like having unnecessary things. If I can double down on like an effect like this, it is very costly though. Obviously, costs are sort of lowered here, but all right. Patty, you have to watch the video on the primer. It's more people said Apostles suck, so now it doesn't. Surprised no one mentioned Carnival of Souls. Yeah, Carnival of Souls is cool. I just sold my Carnival of Souls. But yeah, you make black mana. You make black mana and you lose life when creatures come into play. It's not a choice, and it happens when opponents have creatures enter the battlefield. Crick, 9 life. Forgot Phyrexian had colors. It's fine. With all the great ideas, the point of doing Crick with Shadowborn is to pull Villis or Harvester if Villis somehow got in your hand and storm into Tendrils. I see. So you actually, in Mage, you actually use Shadowborn to pull Villis out? Do you actually make that happen? Okay. So it makes me feel like 18 is low now, but we're not. Is it necessary that Thrumming Stone be in place? Like I feel like you get there by doing secret salvage to help you. I don't know. With Razaketh? Oh my god. Razaketh into Villis? That's a lot of extra work, isn't it? Doesn't it just make more sense to Entomb Reanimate Villis? I can't help but feel Shadowborn is like a very weird offbeat way of doing this, but I want to do it, damn it, so we're gonna do it because that's what Brendan had set up. And I'm sure there's a logical reason. I still think 29 lands is perfect. I think Boseiju is not my favorite here, but I can understand why you're playing it. I think Cavernous Souls sucks, but we'll keep it. I do think it sucks as a card. I do want to remove some things though, and we're gonna remove. I can't help but feel like Plan A is gonna be Demonic Tutor into this shit. Am I wrong? Like you just cast this with your Boseiju? I have all the cards. And hopefully you have nothing to stop me. Did we need to put Deadly Rollick in here? It doesn't matter. We need to cut down to the general strategy. I think that Rain of Filth can go. I think that Bubbling Muck is fine. It's in our sorcery slot here. This is a storm deck, but the way I see us storming... Oh my god, there's so many like weird unconventional things happening. And there's Haunted Crossroads in the deck, right? I'm going to take this out. I would rather Meat Hook Massacre over Toxic Deluge. Call me crazy. And I know it's weird that I'm nixing removal. I'm just trying to keep core components in. But to me, this works better with gray, but also can give us life if things are being removed. Like there's a really good utility here. Yes, it costs more effectively, but I think Meat Hook's probably the better of the two options for this particular list. Okay. I used Patriarchs and Empty Catacombs, but yeah, you're doing a lot more than that, I would. Which card Talisman? Oh my god, why you gotta say good cards? I didn't really look over the Tutor Suite entirely, but yeah, we need Wishclaw Talisman. Anytime there's a usable tutor, use it. It's the general philosophy. If it grabs at least two things that you need, and this grabs all of them, so you should be winning when you use this in an ideal world, unless there's a null rod, and then you just have Wishclaw Talisman. Tutor Narazi, Tutor of Song of the Damned, Tutor Etherflux. That makes sense. I don't think we need the other one, the Reign of Filth. I think that's too hardcore. Hey, crazy. Who you calling crazy? I would do Death Greeter. Stop. No more new cards. No more new cards. Let's nix 5 cards and test what we've got. How about that? How about that? For now. And then I would definitely say that we can probably finagle this just a little bit more. I liked the idea of Unmarked Grave at first, but I think it's probably unnecessary. I think that Stitch Together is okay, but there's better. And we will look at better. Don't worry, we will look at better. Is there here promo set? Promo set. I think I have this one. Yeah. Okay. Echoing Return. Sure. These all make sense. This makes sense for the line of play we have established. Like Secret Salvage makes sense. Okay, Snuff Out. Yeah, we need some creature removal, don't we? Village Rites, just that I don't care about that. Okay. Cabal Ritual is still great. Dark Ritual is still great. Killing the Weak is still great. Sacrifice is okay. I'm not really sure. So Sacrifice is just how we get the mana to get the ball rolling on things, right? So you could sacrifice Crick at that point. That makes sense to me. Songs of the Damned is really sweet too. I get that. Sorry. FYI, Cavern of Souls you call minion, which would make Crick and Chainer uncounterable. That's good. That is good. That is good. Okay. Had to be a party pooper, but it seems like we left cEDH and we're looking at a powerful, fun 8 or 10 in my opinion. Timothy. You might be right. I mean, I don't really know. I have 0 expectations of mono black in general. I'm sorry. So if this is like a 8, I'm sure that's good enough for me to pilot it to a 9. Okay? Is the scale, does it cap at 9? Because that's where we are. I do think that we might have one too many cooks in the kitchen here. Harvester of Souls was one of them. I do think that the Necrotic Ooze line is really sweet and super playable, but I will state that we should just make way. We should just make way for a little bit more play. There we go. No. Okay. I saw the Emergent Zone. We have Return from... Okay, did we... We don't have any Animate Auras? Is there a reason we're not using Animate Dead? Like, is that a shit card? Am I mistaken? Do people not like Animate Dead anymore? I'm adding it in there. I like reanimating things. That one seems pretty good. All right. Testing. At least you're keeping it real. Oh, thanks. Or was that directed at me? I don't know. If no Putrid Imp, then don't bother with Soul Exchange or Stitch Together. If no Putrid Imp. Okay. Sacrifice also keeps you from decking with Villas. Ha 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 ha. Yeah. This deck is cool, but yeah, it can be hard to take off. Well, not with a hand like this. Not with a hand like this. Are you looking at this shit? Are you, can you see my hand? I mean, yeah, we'll play this. Do you like turn one Crick? Anyone? Do you like turn one Necropotence? Anyone? Do you like that shit? Do you like that? Just I don't know what you're supposed to do here, but I'm gonna play this as I see fit. Don't I wish my land was a merchant zone? Jesus. Sure. Fucking who needs animate dead? All my shit's gonna get exiled anyways. Was that the right play? I don't know. How much life do you lose at this point? Let's lose. I feel, and honestly, more than any other deck, I feel like Necropotence is value here. It's just for value. So if you turn one Necropotence, right, which I guess is what you're supposed to do with the hand I was just dealt, I think. I'm going to get 6 cards in my hand. Remember, you don't draw them, you put them aside. It's important. I hate it when people draw these prematurely and it's like, oh, you know your options before anyone else decides to do anything. Cool. So we're going to do this. We're just going to fill up our hands, go down to 23. Am I going to be the target of attacks? Probably. We should probably denote that Crick, we cast 3 black spells, right? So we'll use the life counter here to track. I don't think Crick's going to get that big, but Crick is now what? He's a 5/5. That's pretty cool, right? That's cool. Did I do that right? Are we doing this right? Are we winning yet? I see a Demonic Tutor. I feel like we might be winning. Let's draw a card. Okay, sorry, let's not draw a card. That just happens. That just happens when you go to your next turn. Let's remember we have Necropotence out. Okay, I feel like we probably could dig deeper with Necropotence. It just makes sense. But we do need to discard down at the end of our turn. So really we'd be just hand sculpting for a turn 2 win ideally. I don't know why I played like that. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know what's wrong with me. When you have a turn 1 Necropotence, you should just go for it. But I'm not gonna look at the screen. I don't want your help. I want to try to figure this out myself, okay? So I'm not gonna look at anything. I can't help but feel like more mana is better here. So all right. Let's just do this. I'm gonna just balls to the wall. What can I get? What can I do? Oh no. It's only when you discard a card, right? Yeah. Okay. So energy. Yeah. This. We'll do this. Demonic Tutor. Is it successful? Please God, say it is. Please God. All right. Demonic Tutor is gonna grab. What can I cast with one generic? I've got 4 mana. Bolas's Citadel was. Am I wrong? We can do Bolas's Citadel. This is kind of fun. Bolas's Citadel. Like if they didn't stop the Demonic Tutor, then they will certainly stop this. But am I mistaken? Is there a better card to go for? We're gonna do Bolas's Citadel though. Okay, we're doing Bolas's Citadel. How do we do that? We use the 1 generic. We tap this. We cast this, and we've got 1 black floating, right? Okay. Boop, boop. And yes, I mean, I should probably track this again. I think I've cast 2 black spells, right? Demonic Tutor, Dark Ritual, Bolas's Citadel now. Okay, so Crick is really big. Cool. We're not going to swing right now because I want to use that black. Hold. I need to shuffle. How does this work? You may look at the top card of your library anytime. Okay, let's bring this down here. Let's bring this beautiful card down here. Okay, you may look at the time. You may play lands. Oh shit, we played a land, and you may cast spells. So the only thing that can stop me is if this is a land. It's not. It's Haunted Crossroads. Holy shit, we're so close. We're so close. But I can play it, right? Wait, did I lose life for? Yeah, I lost. Damn it, I needed to lose life for the. I need to lose life for the Bolas's Citadel because I definitely. Well, I mean, I could go up to like I could go to 19 and use this, right? I mean, it's all the same, really, at this point. I might need that lifelink. Yeah, we're gonna cast this, right? I think that makes sense. We don't have any creatures in our graveyard, We'll cast this though. And it's what, 1 life per mana, right? Equal to the mana value rather than pay its cost. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's cheaper than using Crick. Cool. Do it again. Yes, do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Ah, oh, son of a bitch. All right. Well, that's on top of the library. Wait, no. We have Necropotence. Wait, okay. I'm losing a lot of life. Losing a lot of life. We're still okay. We're still in the clear. I can swing with Crick if I have to, okay? So it's actually very important that Crick is gaining life here. Can I just state? I didn't connect all the dots. I'm not going to lie to you, but now it's hitting me. Crick being a 10-10 is important. It might be higher. Who cares? We're going to exile the land, though. We get it later. Cool. Oh my god. Did I lose life? I did. Okay. Flip it. Ah! Yes. Yes. Wait. I can cast this one from my hand. You lose 2 more. I mean, screw that. Wait. No. We might just have one on the top again. Let's just see if we rip that last one. Well, I can't help but feel Peer into the Abyss is just the better play. So we're going to go down 7. We're going to go down 7. This is all turn 2. This feels pretty crazy. Okay. So target player. I'm going to pick my best friend. No. My best friend's me today. Nice to meet you, Pat. We'll cast Peer into the Abyss, targeting myself. And we'll draw round up, right? Round up each time. We'll draw 40 cards. Okay. I will swing with Crick. All right. No, Crick is this big. Let's just say we cast the girl. I think it made sense to cast the Shadowborn Apostle because we want as much life as possible, although we're technically netting. It's negative, but just bear with me. Okay, so we attack. We gain 12 life. No, that was 8. That was 8. That's 12. Don't help me. Don't help me, anyone. We're gonna cast this. We're gonna cast this. Oh, we're storming. Oh, we're storming. Do I see? Oh, we're storming. Just hold up. Hold up. I think this is the game right here. Just don't say anything yet. Don't tell me. I just want you to know that it's just good practice to always play your mana out first after you've been dealt a giant-ass hand, right? All that ramp first. And then we go for the plan of action. And I think that's all I want to play here. Oh, sorry, minimal. Okay, so we got all this mana. Got all this sweet, sweet mana. We'll tap here, right, for 3, and then we'll pay 4 life. Cool. Cast Gray. Is this enough black? It's got to be, right? So whenever Gray and Merchant of Asphalt enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, where X is your devotion to black. You gain life equal to the life lost this way. Well, let me do some math. Thank God we didn't sacrifice those apostles. I really needed 5 apostles to just fucking cheering me on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 life, everyone. I'm going to gain 38, 47 life. Am I wrong? No, 38, 57 life. And guess what I played earlier, bitches? Put target creature on top of your library. Holy shit, didn't we talk about Haunted Crossroads with bosses? Oh, man. All right. Crick is the daddy. Crick is the daddy. Cheers to you. Cheers to you. And this is where I look at the comments and someone's like, you actually didn't have enough mana, or you mistakenly did this when I couldn't have done that. Did I fuck up? Let me know if I fucked up first, because I got really excited. I got really excited there. I gotta say, I would love to own Bolas' Citadel now. Hands down. Lovely card, good card. Mind you, it in tandem with Necropotence. Like, we really lucked out that when I dug deep, Demonic Tutor was on top. Although, mind you, we were getting really low on our life total there, so being conservative was actually very good for what we did. Although I'll state that adding Wishclaw was smart, and I'd probably want to look over the tutor suite again. I think we have everything now, though. But let me tune in with you guys. Was that okay? Did that work? Is that how the deck's supposed to work? Does it always feel that good? Let me know. All the Crick players out there. Okay. You're sitting on a dark writ too. Oh shit, I'm sorry. You guys went through that with me, right? Sorry. You saw all the mental arithmetic I went through, and we did it accurately, right? Okay, let me just check. By the way, you playing Crick or you don't get gut shot? Oh god, yeah, gut shot would suck. Blood Celebrant should be in the deck. It makes more consistent turn 1 to 3. Beast, I agree. Wish we were more turn 1 drops. I don't understand the use of Blood Celebrant. I know the card, but I don't understand why you would want to use it. Am I mistaken? What's so special about paying 1 black and paying an additional life? I know it's a card with Villas, but that's all I know. You guys can let me know if Blood Celebrant's necessary. I left it out. I don't feel bad about that. The Shadowborn Apostles were not necessary for that line of play. I feel like what we just did could be reconfigured to be much more efficient. So much more efficient. Okay. I would recommend Prism Ring. Okay. Crick is important to gain life for more spells. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm probably going to ignore the comments that I came to a conclusion on during play. Cast Pier, probably swing with Crick, gain a ton of life. Yeah. Patazana high, Phyrexian mana high. Yeah. Oh, it was good. It was good. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of enjoyed what I just did there. Look, a turn 1 Crick into Necropotence, I'm not certain it gets better than that. Am I mistaken? Like, that seems like a golden kind of turn. And maybe having a little bit more fast, like permanent fast mana would have been good. Even still, it would have sucked if Mana Crypt like hit you. Nah, that was just a fucking good turn. I think that was just a good turn, right? Mage Pier is one of the main combos. Yes, Crick is daddy. Yeah, never mind that comment I made. Oh, yeah. Did half your life when you cast Pier? I think I was at... I didn't. I think I was at 6. Did I or didn't I? It's in the footage. But I think after Pier, we had sufficient enough mana to just do the thing anyways. I didn't play all of the rituals I saw. The screen was so bogged down. I was really just looking for the artifact ramp. But I think we were there. Fact of the matter is we probably could have used... Oh no. LED would have really sucked with Necropotence. Did we have Feed the Swarm? Thank God we didn't play LED. Okay. Excuse me. I would agree with Prism Ring or Death Greeter. All right, those are good. Yeah. Sorry, these are just the mana fixing cards. Whenever you cast a spell of the chosen color, you gain 1 life. Okay, that's really cool. This is just a... Is this really important? I guess if the game is dragging on, like you can just get eaten alive. I'm assuming that when I fought the Crick that one time, I was definitely swinging at the Crick player. So I can see why you would want something to help you gain life. Bloodseller plus Crick is... It's just... Bloodseller plus Crick is just life loss? Pay 3 life, add 1 black to your mana pool. Oh, sure? I don't understand. Sure. Damn it, Ogre. Does this deck really have any interaction with other players? Nicholas Moon, let me state that this is not the final version. This was a test version of a refined or tuned variant. I wanted to get certain elements in play that made sense for the list, although I will state that I would probably remove the whole Shadowborn Apostle angle. Probably. I mean, I can see why you would want it with Bolas's Citadel, but we almost got there. Damn it. Okay, yeah. I mean, the Demonic Tutor made no more sense than We would need to remove other lines of play. I removed Necrotic Ooze, but I did keep in at least the Citadel line with the Apostles, because ultimately if we got there, we would have also been okay, I think. Because Villas would have helped us draw cards. At any rate. Blood Celebrant is Treacherous Ogre in Crick. Is it really? Am I mistaken? Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. So basically, for paying 3 life, you get to convert in any colored mana. Does that really? You just want that so that you can regularly cast things? Just play Bolas. just always have Bolas' Citadel. No, I understand now. I understand now. Sorry, there's so many comments. Pays for your colorless mana. Yep. If you have Crick, Blood Celebrant, Tutor, turn 1, that's game unless interacted with. If you have Crick, Blood Celebrant, and a Tutor, turn 1, that's game unless someone interacted. Is it just because you could cast your hand? I mean, you don't, it's not like, so the Tutor effectively gets you final parting, and then you set up the line of play with Villas. I'm sorry, wait up. Search your library for 2 cards, put one in your hand and the other one, so you reanimate it, and then you would just draw your deck, and then you would storm into a win. I guess there's probably a multitude of ways you could win at that point. I get that, though. That does make sense. It makes sense now. Yeah, okay. Well, the Blood Celebrant was in the list initially, so Brandon, reintroduce Blood Celebrant. I was hoping he'd read my comment and get it. No, I didn't. Part of why I prioritize draw over tutors, just because Razaketh. You know what's interesting? Draw for this list seems important just because we have so many tutors, and like if you mainline Razaketh, if push comes to shove, like the Blood Celebrants are good for at least sack fodder, so you can get the solutions you need. I don't think LED is entirely necessary here, but hella Necropotence? Shit. I will cast that. Put that in my hand every game. That was really fun. Let me just state, as we close this one out, that was really fun. Good on you, Crick players, if that's what it's like. I will state that this could definitely use some refinements. I would say I definitely want to see more interaction here. We were rather limited on our interaction suite. I'll state that like a Deadly Rollick would be good, a little bit more creature removal for any of those hate bears that might be out there. Feed the Swarm is the only really good cure-all for enchantments. It's not even that good, but it does enough. I hate saying that, but it's just good creature removal, and I think didn't it get reprinted, or Midnight Hunt Commander sets? Cool. So there you go. There's a bunch of copies out there now. So Feed the Swarm makes sense for this list. I would definitely want to add a little bit more removal. I think at 18 Shadowborn Apostles, that was fine. I will state that more top deck manipulation would really help. Again, there's Sensei's Dividing Top on the list for Bolas' Citadel. It was in the list prior, so that makes total sense to me. Blood Celebrant's great. I do think that having a portable Treason Ogre that way is really cool. It's funny, I wasn't really concerning myself with that because I wasn't thinking of turns this way, but I totally get that now. The ability you have to storm quickly, it makes sense. I think DTing there for Bolas' Citadel was potentially the best thing I could have done. And that's really the question that I am trying to answer. And I leave it to you, and I'll leave it to you guys to answer the comments after this video. At this point in time, this is a pre-Neon Dynasty Kamigawa world. Is Bolas' Citadel the best option, or is what lines of play do you think are best for this list if you're trying to storm? I mean, it doesn't really get more storm-y than Bolas' Citadel, so I'm really curious to hear your thoughts. Like when I DT'd there, that was the only thing that came to mind for me. But I'm definitely curious to hear what you guys think of the best course of action for what we have in this deck right now. But again, I would love to see a little bit more removal. Again, black is not interaction heavy, okay? Black is not blue. So you're not going to find that much. If you want to add in a Withering Boon, I heard a few things. Like there is Imp's Mischief in here. There aren't that many redirects in black. There's just a lot of creature killing spells. So if you want your Dismember or whatever, you can add those in. But I do think you need to allow other players to have the answers sometimes too, and that's okay. I think it's okay to be greedy if your list is made to be greedy. And I think that this deck is made to be greedy. So you can limit the amount of interaction you have, and that's okay for this deck. You should be focusing on turn one hands that play out probably like that, right? At any rate, I enjoyed this a lot. Brandon, if you watch this, I hope you enjoyed this and gathered something from this. We had a lot of great audience members today who clearly play Crick or at least follow Discords that talk Mono Black. So this was really, really fun. I enjoyed this quite a bit. Definitely want to tweak something like this for myself. But guys, thanks for joining me on this live stream, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Happy brewing, babies. So fucking fun. So good. So good. I enjoyed this way too much.